Oh, God. What is going on, everybody? Mario here in Fighting FX, in Fighting Exchange, live on 5 platforms right now as Seth Rollins kicks off this edition of Monday Night Raw, which I will, of course, be covering, as always, for FightsATW.com. Um, we had one small little segment before where Sami and Cody kind of just started talking shit, and then Gunther came in and power bombed him. The boss is saying this is going to end in schmaz. And I am very, very sad to report that I am starting to feel the same way. I honestly felt like Cody was going to just win the title back at some point, but let's hear what Seth has to say. Damn, Belgium scored already. Fuck. Damn it, that was quick. Less than 10 minutes they scored. God, North America is just taking it up the butt this week. That was weird. I shouldn't have said that. I don't think it's a good idea to tell people right away that Roman's not there. It's like you go to a concert of like an awesome like famous artist and he's like, I'm not going to do that song. Like it's like you go to the Chili Peppers and they're like, we're not going to do, by the way, sorry, we're not doing Scar Tissue tonight. Or it's like you go to Casey and JoJo and they're like, we're not going to play. I forgot what the Casey and JoJo song was. It's like you go see Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, and they're like, "We're not doing Still Dre." You realize we put out an album about Compton, like that nobody liked. The hell, all of this is true. What is Seth doing here? He's like, everybody says Roman is rich. He is. Everyone says his wiener's bigger than mine. It is. And it's like, why are you telling us this? I'm not gonna lie, his suit is dope though. Shago? Did he call them Shago? I don't like that. That feels offensive. Tell us why, Seth. What? This is not. This isn't the era to be telling us you know little boys without any context. Seth, what are you doing right now? Why are you identifying young children in the audience? You know who I always wanted to be when I was a kid? The Bret Hart kid. You know, the ones like, Bret. Oh, I hated that kid. Listen, I grew up in a really fucked up era where fighting was like a big thing. And so I have trauma from that. But there is a part of me that still like wants to strangle that kid. Not as my adult self, obviously, as the kid back then. He was like, Bret. And then Bret just gives him this memorabilia. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? That commercial is probably like TKO's like worst nightmare. They wake up drenched in sweat thinking that a wrestler gave away memorabilia for free. I'm not following this. You broke up the Shield to catch up with Roman. This is getting weird now. I'm not going to lie. No, it sounds weird. It sounds like you're in love with Roman Reigns. If I work hard, I get my own damn job. Y'all remember that song? I don't know where any of this is going, dude. This sounds so weird. This is not even close to what they were doing last week. I guess it's hard when you don't have Roman. A couple of months ago, he said Roman said something about him that changed everything for him. He admitted the fact that he worked 10 times less than he did. And he made 10 times more than he did. Yeah, that was fucked up. Oof. I would hang on to that too. I'm not going to lie. He said that shit was such bravado. It made him want to puke. It made all of us want to puke. Yo, is that why Reed started stealing his shoes? Everybody in the back was just like on that F Roman tip. They're like, look, he got shoes. He buying shoes. Oh, I just thought he was going to say loyalty. No. Is that proven against Seth Rollins though? That's like a legit question. So he beat Brock Lesnar, he beat Cody, he beat Triple H. And 15 years deep into this, Roman's still like, I'm suffering from imposter syndrome. I don't like Hulk Hogan, Seth Rollins. I'm not going to lie. I don't like this. Like, I didn't love the big Joker laugh. Oh, way to suck the air out of the room with LA Knight. Zero stakes on this guy recently. I like LA Knight. I think he's talented, but you know, it's like you can't watch a show and then like the kid Steve Urkel is like a big nerd, and then like in season 4 you're just like Steve Urkel's getting all the girls now. Oh man, he's the cat's meow. No, you got to send him into a fucking machine, turns him into Stefan so that he can get the ladies. You know what I mean? And so the story that we've been told lately is that LA Knight is Urkel, and what makes him Stefan coming out of Gorilla? No, that's not how it works. That's Urkel right there. That ain't Stefan. That's Urkel. You look like Urkel with your Urkel ass pants. Nah, I actually fuck with LA Knight's gear right now. That's a hard ass outfit. It's hard not to look like a total fraud wearing leather these days. Oh, he just caught that mic with one hand. Yo, he's locked in today. Triple H must have bitched him out before. No, I'm just kidding. Yikes. No, it's on TikTok. YouTube, Twitch, IG, TikTok. No, wait, I'm not on Twitch. I'm on X. YouTube, X, IG, and TikTok. Do you say bloviating? Bloviate. To speak or to write at tedious length in a pompous, boastful, or overly verbose manner. It typically describes someone who is blowing hot air, talking a lot but saying very little. Yikes. That didn't hit as hard as it could have. He should have just said, how the fuck is it fair for you to lose in the first round of the King of the Ring and get a title shot? That would have hit harder. He hit him with that hard. He hit him with that hard That was that hard Damn it. I like that. I like that line. He said the clock's not in my favor. Mexico, peso, queso, don't matter. England and regulation. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they did better than everybody thought they would. All right. This is why we chant. This is why we go for North America and not a single country. That's like rookie FIFA watching. Yeah, except for Triple H. He was the only one not saying LA Knight. Yo, Seth should be like, yo, you know what would hit so hard right now? This isn't even a troll. This is a for real suggestion. What would hit hard is, oh yeah, LA? Well, at least the last time we were in the ring together, I wasn't the bigger fuck up. Oh man, that would hit hard, bro. Oh man. Or you'd be like, yeah, well, last time we were in the ring together, you got bitched out like a little kid in school. Oof, yikes, bro. Cancun on 3. Mario hands in. No, stop. The 2 biggest vomits. Why are we doing this? So we're giving LA Knight his moment without Roman there. And to what? To derail the Roman Seth thing? Like, so now we're not going all in. This isn't the final battle. Like, this is what was pitched last week. The final battle, right? The hell? Man, that crowd really don't sound. It really does not match what we're seeing on TV. It's like super loud. There's like 4 people like, meh. He said, you're wearing a Jim Bro Michael Jackson Thriller jacket. Get the hell out of here. You look like Michael Jackson became a gym bro and went on Joe Rogan and started taking peptides. Get out of here. This is like, why are we making out with each other? I was not expecting LA Knight to come out. Yeah, nobody was. LA Knight needs to request his release. You know what? LA Knight wasn't even expecting LA Knight to come out. So you don't have Roman, so you got to do something. And you're like, oh, LA Knight will get everybody horned up for Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. He shot his shot against a guy doesn't have the title. How does that make any sense whatsoever? Please tell me how that makes any sense. He doesn't have what shot did he shoot? He wants a match. Okay, why did you go to Seth Rollins in the ring? Why didn't you just go to Adam Pierce. Oh shit. Yo, I cannot believe we're still doing this. See, it's like if you're just gonna keep doing this, then please go to the extent that we want, right? Like LA Knight has been beefing with these guys for so long. For so long. He has to be like they're like his rivals. They're like everything. So it's like he's on social media every day, like stalking them like an insane person. So at some point he's gonna be like, yeah, well, it looks like your family's breaking up, or at least Jay and his wife are. And it's like, oh, like that would be awesome. You know what I mean? I mean, get permission first, but it's like, why is Nick Aldis there? He's supposed to be suspended. I kind of low key want to see a match between Nick Aldis and Adam Pierce. I had no idea I wanted this. Yeah, like Gunther's not going to find a way back in. Yo, I I'm not gonna lie, the heat is intriguing. There's some backstory here. I don't know. I think I want to see Nick Aldis and Adam Pierce. Is that weird? Am I weird for that? Here's the thing: they're not gonna do anything because Nick Aldis has had like 4 different storylines that never ended up in a match, despite the fact that you know people with sources said that the match was impending. I always thought Nick Aldis was a really good wrestler. I'm not as familiar with Adam Pierce's work. I mean, obviously, I've seen exactly, I'm with all y'all seen as far as like, clips and stuff like that looking back. But I actually watched Nick Aldis when he was, damn it, what was his name in NWA? I forgot. But he wrestled Cody at that first All In, not the AEW, before AEW was AEW. Uh, he wrestled Cody. Aldis did for the NWA title. I think he put Cody over. I mean, there's like zero chance that they just let the Street Profits drop the titles right back, right? There's like no way that happens. Yeah, no. I don't care. No, it's 1-0, dude. What are you even talking about? Oh, okay. I did. I'm sorry. I missed your joke. I get it now. You're saying Trump jinxed him. Yeah, a lot of people were pissed about it. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people were mad. I can only understand it from like the sanctity of sports. Um, so for example, I was coaching a team in the All Stars. This was when I was like really young. I was in college, and we were just coaching some kids in baseball because we played baseball. We wanted to just give back, and so we're coaching this team in the All Stars, and there is a tournament that they're having. Um, like 45 minutes away in one of the smaller towns. And so like all the like all-star local teams that are going to be competing, they get into this tournament, and we have like a small tournament before all-stars start, right? And it's just to get work in, like it's not, anything official or whatever. It was just to get work in and practice. Because a lot of those teams didn't really have fields, some of them shared fields. So it was like a way of all of us getting in work a week before. And we had a strict pitch limit because remember, we have all stars coming up. And there was a kid who had his pitch limit like completely gone, like he was done. And then they started warming him up to pitch the final inning of the game to go to the championship. And so everybody's like, what the fuck? Like, this guy can't pitch, blah, blah, blah. So he was actually the son of the president of the league that was hosting the tournament. And literally, the game stopped for like 30 minutes, and they ended up letting this kid play. And nobody ever went back to this place. Nobody ever, I think they even like disbanded that little league. I mean, it was more because they didn't have the players, but It was ran like a shit show. But yeah, this the president essentially allowed his kid to pitch more than what was allowed. They ended up winning the game, going to the championship, and they had two other pitchers that were badass that they could have pitched, but saved them for that and won a meaningless tournament. But that's what instantly came to my head when I heard the story of what happened. I remember thinking, I even told my dad, I was like, dude, do you remember when they did that to us in the All-Stars and the and the president's son was allowed to go beyond his pitch limits for the tournament? And it's not like the best comparison, but it does work. Ooh, I like this Money in the Bank commercial. That looked sick. That looks cool. I wonder if they're gonna change like how the belt can be like challenged for. You know what I mean? Wait, so Logan's arm still is hurt? Okay, I'm just confused at this point now. Dude, Paul's like so mean to everybody. Yeah, Paul, I understand. Oh, he's bitching him out. I didn't realize that. Yo, what if he dumps him? Oh, shit. Yo, Paul just said, come back to me with some gold for your wise man, or don't come back to me at all. Yo, that's crazy work, bro. That is crazy work. That's like your girlfriend saying for Valentine's Day, like, you're either getting me the bracelet I wanted or you ain't getting shit. You know what I mean? Either you're gonna get me them pearls or you ain't putting no pearls anywhere around this neck. No, that was terrible. Why did I even try to make that joke? That was terrible. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yo, how's it going, man? Floyd set the record straight in his interview with Cameron. Floyd has things under control. Okay, Alex, first of all, that interview was posted uh this past week, but it was done like weeks before. And second of all, he said nothing in that interview. My brother said my brother made me sit there and watch it. I was so pissed because it literally was nothing. Uh yeah, Holland was clutch. I saw that. Oh shit, US scored. Thank you. Why didn't anybody tell me until right now? That's not cool. Yo, so this is what I'm saying, guys. Listen to me. When I say things like, "Oh, how do you raise the stakes or how do you make things feel like more important or whatever?" Like this is it right here, right? This was a rematch for this was a rematch for the former world champ tag team champs, right? Because they had yet to receive their rematch after losing the tag titles to the Street Profits. And so we learned last week they would be getting this tag title match. Nobody believed they would actually lose their titles after winning them. So it was like, why are they doing this now? Like, what are they even really doing? Who's this supposed to get over? Now here comes Paul Heyman, right? And he says, y'all have been scrubs. You see what my boy Brock's out there doing, just being a legend, like retired, and also somehow the most biggest monster in the locker room at the same time. It don't make sense, but hey, it works. That's what I'm used to dealing with. You guys have been scrubs lately. You guys have been unworthy of my leadership. I'd make the argument that, Paul's led them in some pretty stupid things, but whatever. All I'm saying is this. this is broken. This is completely broken. Do we even remember why Paul Heyman was with Braun Breaker and the rest of the Seth Rollins-less vision in the first place? He was taken hostage. By the way, that was the second time that a wrestler had taken him hostage to be the wise man for their team. The solo, thing had already been ran, but they did it again with Breaker. He basically held Paul hostage until Paul started to somehow convince himself that it was his idea, and then convinced them that it was his idea, and then led them down some really bad choices. And now here we are. And all of this leads to one undeniable fact, or truth, I should say. And that is that Braun Breaker has been so mishandled, dude. I mean, wow. Talk about a guy who we thought was on the verge of winning his first title. We were fantasy booking him and Roman Reigns. And now he is the third guy in the shittiest faction in WWE today right now. The most interesting person in the group, aside from Breaker, is Logan Paul. How did that happen? Now, you could talk about the injuries, you could talk about a lot of stuff, but it's like you can't control that. What you can control is the narrative after having that done. But whatever. If Abdullah Mason is 22, with the fights he's having, can he just age out the Haneys? Can he just, did you mean edge out the Haneys? Shakur's, Tanks, and Ryans of the world and beat them to become a superstar by 2028, 2029. So, okay, listen. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Let me timestamp this real quick. Where are we at? 27 minutes. Okay. I just want to make sure so I can clip it for later because we hadn't talked about it yet. So thank you for bringing it up, dude. Right. Let's go ahead and call it minute 28. Okay, so for those that did not get to see the fight this weekend between Mason and BEL, Albert BEL, who's a late minute replacement for Joe Cordina, who those will, familiar with it, know what happened with him. Some legal consequences and things like that prevented him from being the opponent on Saturday night in what was the first episode of the new TNT boxing series that will run in conjunction with DAZN. The Top Rank show was fun enough. The main event was very good. Started off a little slower than I had anticipated it would be, but boy, did it cook up. Boy, was it an amazing fight script. So let's talk about it. So Mason gets down on the cards on everyone's score, right? Mex had it, I think, 5-1, if I'm not mistaken, heading into the second half of the fight. A lot of people in the building had it 6-0 for BEL, meaning that Mason, at the very best, without knockdowns, could only hope to win a draw if he could somehow manage to turn things around. That's exactly what he did. Ladies and gentlemen, what Abdullah Mason did on Saturday was nothing short of brilliant and equal parts brave. It was smart. It was methodical. It was everything you want to see in a developing fighter looking to be a champion. And yet this kid is only 22 and he has very little experience by way of pros. And yet he fought like an established pro, dare I say a veteran at times in that second half. To go to the body and target it is one thing, but to have the sensibility to understand where your opponent, who had been controlling the fight up until that point, to be able to sniff out that sort of weakness, to be able to hone in on that. That's another level, guys. That's a level, the kind of things we talked about with the Boots Xander fight, right? We've seen Boots do tremendous things. We've never seen him do it against a guy that can really give him some fight back, right? Who can be combative in the ring and match him. And when he was able to get in that position, Boots absolutely solidified himself. And Mason did the same thing, albeit maybe not against the same level of talent, but in a more dire way, where the momentum of the fight was completely shifted in BEL's favor. And it seemed like all he had to do was cruise. And then here comes Mason targeting the body. And at a time where you didn't even see BEL really like going down or weakening, certainly he wasn't, the fight was being taken from him, but BEL could sense that he was close. BEL could sense something, or I'm sorry, Mason could sense something in BEL. He knew it. It was like a lumberjack chopping at a tree. And you're an observer and you're thinking, why does he keep chopping the same spot? That tree's not going. And then all of a sudden, boom, you see it starting to tumble over. The lumberjack understands the physics and the geometry of the tree and how it works. And Mason understands the body and his work of it as it relates to boxing in a way that very few people have understood it at his age and his lack of experience level. It was an incredible performance. Okay, real quick. So Breaker had the brass knuckles. Logan Paul gave it to him. Oh my God. Montez Ford just did what he's done a million times, and I'll never, ever get used to it. Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. That was special. Now Dawkins has the brass knuckles. He's looking to hit Theory. Oh, shit. Oh! Maxine Dupree has just popped in the ring. Oh my gosh. And the titles have been reclaimed by the Vision. Austin Theory pins Dawkins after Maxine Dupree low blowed him. Wow. What a finish. You see Theory pleading with Dawkins, taking his sweet time, and there's Maxine, and she got all of it. I mean, she got up in there, if you know what I mean. Dawkins, oh, he sold every bit of that. I'll be honest, I think I'd rather have seen him hit a move and, off the low blow to finish it, because it's like you got finished by a low blow. Not that that's not realistic. If you ever played baseball, nut taps were like a huge thing. And no, you go down in a heartbeat. But the point is that nobody else does, right? Nobody loses from just a low blow. People get low blowed and then they get hit with the finisher, and that's over. Uh-oh. And now Maxine Dupree jumps in the arms of Austin Theory. They are making out hardcore 90s style. And she is jacked to the tees, laughing in the arms of Austin Theory. And here's the replay. Montez Ford just lays out Breaker. I mean, wow. What a move. Just leaped over the turnbuckle in a way that he took out Austin Theory weeks back. And then it was like a homing missile, dude. I mean, that I'm assuming that low blow was about as accurate as any Warhawks are today. I mean, just target dismantled. Uh-oh, and now Cody is being checked. Oh, they're saying they can't sign off on Cody. His ear's bleeding. Why, Maxine? Why? Tell me why. Tell us all why, Maxine. Now I want Chad. No, never mind. I don't want that at all. Maxine. They should have they never even had them on air like that. So it was like, you could have just made this like a back and forth, like Chad saving the princess sort of thing. And then maybe like she stands up for herself at the very end and tells both of them to go to hell. That's very women empowerment sort of thing. Abdullah is at 135. If he moves up to 147 3 years from now, the current top guys like Haney, Shakur, and Ryan will have more miles on them. Abdullah will be in his prime by then. Yeah, though, but those guys will also be like probably removed from 147. Ryan's a big guy. I don't see him. I mean, he's definitely getting to 154 at some point. I think even Haney has some size left to go. Shakur, I could still see being there. But listen, again, going back to the fight, the way that Mason was able to target the body, the way that Mason was able to keep his head on his shoulders and not gas himself out, not outpunch himself, all those things were prevalent. All those things speak to a much more polished version of Mason than I think any of us truly anticipated. And so this is what I'm going to say. At the end of the day, I do think that the stoppage was not bad. It was questionable. And the only reason I say that, honestly, because I do agree that the stoppage changes nothing. BEL was not going to rally, right? Mason was in complete control. However, I do believe that when you have put a performance out like the way BEL had, he deserved the chance to go out on his shield. He deserved the chance to show up until the very end if he wanted to. I think, as a ref, you have to understand where you're at in that fight. Now, at the same time, as somebody who's, I've done umpiring and officiating before, I can tell you that you're in the game, right? It is 100% different being a spectator of a sport than it is being on the field as an official, right? Being on the court, being in the playing field. And all I can tell you is this: from the referee standpoint, what he's seen is BEL taking a punishment round after round, getting worse, right? And what he didn't see was the same sort of intensity in offense expelled by BEL onto Mason. In other words, Mason wasn't taking the same kind of damage that BEL was. So if you're the ref, all you're seeing is, you're not seeing a guy up 6-0, right, with a chance to win. You're seeing a guy who's been knocked down multiple times. He is not able to really look you square in the eye. Legs don't seem to be under him. And at the end of the day, I think the ref made a wiser decision than the one where you let it go and he just gets flattened, because that's a bad look right there on the sport. All right. Anyway, let's see, where are we at? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just tapped in, let me tell you, Austin Theory and Braun Breaker, with the help of Logan Paul and Maxine Dupree, have reclaimed the tag team titles that they just lost weeks ago to the Street Profits. And the Street Profits, a valiant effort. They almost had it there at the end. But the even bigger story, a part of this, is that just before the match, Paul Heyman warned the Vision, the entire group consisting of Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and Braun Breaker, that if they did not bring back gold to Paul Heyman, then they should not come back to Paul Heyman. Now here they are in the back. Oh, Logan's pumped. Logan is jacked. Okay, here comes Paul. Let's see what he says. Ooh, Paul dogged him out, bro. He said, this is just the first step, only the first. And then he says, at least someone did something worthy today. And Austin Theory thanks Paul, and he says, nah, I'm talking to Maxine. Yikes, bro. The look on Breaker's eyes, the dynamic is so different. You were scared once of Breaker. Now Paul looks at Breaker and he's just like a dumb little kid. What's the matter, T'Challa? What's the matter? Look at the big Kiki. Oh my goodness, look. Tell everybody how you turn into the Prince of Wakanda at night and fight crime. They're not going to believe me if you don't show them. All right, you ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Beat T'Challa. 1, 2, 3. Beat it, Black Panther. All right. You know what? You're embarrassing me in front of my friends. Damn it. These Belgians sure know how to continue to be a boot in our crawl, huh? The hell? Why did she say it? Why did she say his name like that? To Denhausen. It's Danhausen, not Denhausen. Oh, I forgot she's getting her IC shot. Dang. I didn't see it. What happened? What did he say? Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. No, I'm there. I got it. Appreciate it. What happened? So basically he just a player got suspended and then he got him unsuspended, something like that. I'm starting to feel the importance and the urgency of Conor McGregor. He knows a lot is rising on the result. He knows a lot is riding on the result of his fight with Max. He knows this is his last stand. Yeah, the problem is at this stage in a fighter's career, like sometimes it doesn't really matter. Like it doesn't matter how much more urgency you have. It doesn't matter if you have like something authentic to fight for. At this point, how much damage have you done to your body? How much um how pristine have you kept it, right? Like Floyd can come back and fight. I mean, I'm not saying he could beat, Boots or anybody else, but he could come back and fight and beat a lot of guys. And there are probably like 0.001% of fighters that reached his age that were still able to do the things that he's able to do and compete the way he'd still be able to compete. But that's because he's kept his body so pristine. That's because he didn't put anything bad into it. That's because he did the things that he was supposed to and stayed in the gym. We're going to find out if that's the case for Conor. Now, Conor is just a fighter at the end of the day. So could I see McGregor coming in even unprepared or off the couch and win? Absolutely, I could. Absolutely, I could. Them judges at the Abdullah Mason fight had the scorecards filled out before they sat down. Yeah, no, it was a good thing that Mason pulled it out. That would have been, upsetting. They're 100% trying to stall Conor out and get him beat before his contract is up. Alex said, I still think McGregor might have a little bit of magic left. Listen, I think a fighter like McGregor has a natural instinct, right? I don't think he was never a pound for pound fighter. He was never one of the better fighters in the world. What he was a winner. What he was a natural born fighter. And so at the end of the day, there wasn't enough you could do to prepare for a guy like that. Not because he's so unorthodox, although he is a bit unorthodox. Not because he's super athletic, although he is a bit athletic. Again, it's all those things we talked about with Mason, right? Like his ability to sense the body was weak, or he could attack it. That was something he could exploit. McGregor has that ability. He has the ability to sense out exploitation. He's 5 years out the cage off of a terrible injury too. Don't forget that. Yeah, absolutely. That's where I'm coming from this. He's got to prove he's Conor McGregor. I don't have to prove he's Conor McGregor. He needs to do that, right? At the end of the day, I am very aware of what Conor McGregor is. Conor McGregor is, in a lot of ways, MMA's version of Mike Tyson, right? A guy who will be remembered if you were there in that era as a bad dude. But for those of us that have been in the fight game for a long time before and a long time after, we all know what both those fighters represent. It's not that they're bad, but they are, to a degree, massively overrated by casual fans. And so I respect Conor McGregor and what he's done in the sport. I respect the sport more, though. I respect the sport more. I respect it enough to know that you have to be in some sort of shape beyond the normal athlete to be able to go into a cage or a ring and perform with the top fighters in the world. You know, I was watching that clip of Sneeko sparring with Sean Strickland. I forgot who, somebody posted it today. Somebody reposted it. Boxing guy on X reposted it. Get out of here. Go. 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 Get out, Nebby. Get out. Go. 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 Get out. Damn, that's a massive IC #1 contenders match, dude. Dragon Lee, Chad Gable, Evans, Ethan Page, Rusev, Dom Mysterio, and for some reason, Joe Hendry. Penta can't do this. Don't do this, Penta. He doesn't have any of his makeup on underneath, and I'm not a fan of this. He just looks like a regular dude. He looks like the guy I play softball with that wears luchador masks up to bat because he thinks it makes him interesting. Spain versus Belgium is going to have a record low viewership. Portugal versus USA was the plan. It would have been box office. Yeah, it definitely would have been box office. It's not over. It's not over. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow, what an easy goal they had at first. All right. Uh-oh. Yeah, no. If McGregor's going to come back and be like a force, I'm not saying he can't be a force. I'm just saying that if you don't beat Max Holloway this weekend, then I don't think it matters, what he can or can't do. What he isn't going to be able to do is win fights. I don't know. I didn't see it, though. It's 2-1. Belgium's winning. But on Raw right now, we have the women's IC championship. Raquel Rodriguez, who earned the shot at this title match a couple weeks ago, right? Or last week, was it? Whatever it was. Now Sol Ruca. It would be surprising to me for them to change belts twice on a single night. But I'll be honest, coming into this, I did feel like Raquel stood a better chance of winning the title, mostly because of the heat that Sol Ruca has taken, right? Fair or not. And first of all, it's never fair to attack someone, an athlete, for something that was an accident. I know that we are fans of our favorite wrestlers, but at the end of the day, they all are, they're in the same business together. They understand the risks and all that. So, like, it's not cool to just be like hating on some wrestler because she was doing her job. I mean, it could have easily been her that got hurt. So all I'm saying is that I don't know if any of that's helped Solruka, and I thought there was a good chance they could take the title from her because of that. Wait, Alex, didn't you wasn't you said CM Punk was coming back today, didn't you? I didn't you say he was coming back today? Or am I tripping? Or did you say he was coming back and then the other reports came out? I think that would have been, I think that's how it transpired. You had said he was coming back, and then we got reports like the next day or two that he wasn't. Um, if Connor wins, would you book Connor versus Justin or Connor versus Islam, assuming Islam wins? Honestly, I'd book Connor versus Justin. That's like a way, I think that's a way more exciting fight. Um, Oh, I don't know though, dude. I don't know. Honestly, that's tough because, dude, I don't know. Does Justin like end his life? And I'm not even that I shouldn't have said it that way, but like, dude, I don't know. I could see that's I don't know. Gaethje looked really, really strong in that last fight. I mean, the body shots he absorbed in that fight were vicious. I mean, vicious. Oh, Sol Ruka misses a springboard moonsault from the outside. Oh, nice kick. Uh, no, he didn't say that. Oh my gosh, dude. Sol Ruka is getting her moves out tonight. So she missed that first one and then just, oh, damn it. Dooch, 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 doo 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 dooch. No, 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 no. All right. Mm, nope, not gonna work. All right. Bro, what happened to Royce Keys for real? I know. All right. Oh, you know what? Let me do a little promotion. Oh, EO shorted that one. Oh God. Dude, EO did a backflip and literally almost hit her head on the platform with the IC title. Oh, nice. So Ruka with the soul snatcher. That's a 1. That's a 2. That's a 3. I keep seeing an Iron on my algorithm feed. She keeps doing funny stuff on Evolve. I can't tell if she's botching or not. That's funny. I haven't watched Evolve. I haven't watched Evolve in like since before the summer started. I was watching it actually pretty regular on a week to week basis. Dude. Oh, I guess she wasn't that far close to the thing, but it looked close. Damn, that's because Soul hit her feet on the corner of the turnbuckle, but still hit it nice. I don't know. I don't get it. So if Cody's got to wrestle, right? But like, why would they do all this if they're just gonna go with the schmaz? That's what I wouldn't understand. Dude, that bothers me so bad. This entire promo. Like, I remember we watched it live last week and I was like, dude, this is awesome. Like, oh my god, you have Brock doing his own promo. This is crazy, right? But then I started watching it back and watching other podcasts and people who covered it, and I started realizing, like, Brock dissed like all of us, because you got to realize, like, Brock's from a very specific era, right? And I'm from this era too, where people would try to like make you feel bad for liking wrestling, right? So I was on the Boxing Voice for almost a decade. People a lot of times know me best from there, right? Because it's such a big show now. And I started out with them. I can tell you that, like, I would get made fun of at times for liking wrestling by a very select few people. What it turned out was to be the case was that there were so many more people that were wrestling fans. So then this change happened where more and more people started talking about wrestling. And honestly, a lot of it's attributed to Roman Reigns. And the people that would talk shit or make fun, they started getting quieter because more and more people were talking about it, right? So today it doesn't really exist like that, right? You got fucking Brunson and Halliburton and some of like the coolest sports stars in the world being like diehard WWE fans and wrestling fans, right? Tyson, all these people that are like legit badasses that have made it like cool or okay for some men, right? Loser dudes who probably like other men because they care so much about what other men think, gave them like permission to like wrestling, right? Okay, so but Brock's from that era. So like when he's like, I'm sorry, Oba, I don't watch this show. He's basically saying we're all virgins. He's like, this is translation in case you didn't understand what Brock was saying. He's like, I'm sorry, Oba, I'm not one of these massive losers out here who lives with their parents and is a virgin and has never banged Sable. Like, that's his idea of manhood and or like being cool or tough or whatever. That's fine. Whatever, dude. I'm from Texas. I've ridden horses. I've done ranch work. It's hard work. Cool. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. It doesn't make you like the fucking most interesting man in the world. I can tell you that, and so it's like, oh, you don't watch the show that you've made a lot of money on. That makes me feel like imagine any other scenario in the world where you show up to your doctor's appointment for like a routine surgery and he's like, okay, I'm going to be honest, I don't know anything about this surgery, never looked it up. Like, your ego and your pride are so high on this that you're willing to tell us all that you don't give a shit about your actual work, or that you are what, so good. No, that can't be it. I don't know what he's trying to say. All I know is I felt like that was a shot at me. It ain't that deep. Brock just likes to work on his farm and be asleep by 9. No, it is that deep. You don't have to say you don't watch the product. You don't have to say that. You could say something like, I've been hearing you've been talking shit about me. Like, it's as simple as that, right? So it doesn't even, that's what I'm saying. It's not so deep where he had to say it. Like, obviously, Brock Lesnar doesn't watch the fucking show, right? And newsflash, neither does Roman Reigns. He's not watching Monday Night Raw with us right now. I mean, unless he popped up on live right now and was like, yes, I am. I would not believe in a million years that he's at home right now watching Monday Night Raw. And I'm okay with that, right? There are people that are actually wrestling fans. And then there are some people that really aren't. Like, I believe Cody watches the product. Honestly, I think Cody still watches AEW, I bet. he's such a fan and he's such a student of the game, right? That I believe he actually enjoys it, right? And I resonate with that. So it's like when I see a guy like Brock, I don't know, it's like I'm kind of at the point where it's like good riddance. And don't get me wrong, he's a monster. He did amazing work. Without him, we wouldn't have Roman as a star. We wouldn't have a lot of other people, I think, that Brock not necessarily put over, but definitely gave that rub, right? Um, to do the job that he's doing for Oba on the way out, assuming that's where they're going with it, is awesome. I don't know. It's not the first time he's done this. Like he's buried the product before in those kinds of ways. Bro, I swear WWE and its talent are into that weird spouse swap king. Jesus Christ. Kem Hendricks just letting Maxine do this while he in developmental. Yeah, but we've seen this a lot though, dude. And here's the thing. You can't complain about stuff like that. You know why? If you're a talent, you can't complain about stuff like that, Alex? Because you're going to eventually have to complain to Triple H. And he's going to look you square in the eye and he's going to say, China and Stephanie McMahon, now go the fuck home. Like, that's all he's going to say. He's like, nobody ever did what I had to do in this. I'm not saying he's okay, that it's cool or not. I'm just saying, like, nobody can complain like that guy, right? Like, you can't be in WWE and then be like, oh, I don't want to do this thing, or I don't want my wife to do this thing, and be like, do you know who Rusev and Lana are? Do you know what we made them do with Bobby? Have you ever seen those vignettes, those segments? Why don't you go back and check out the old YouTube? Why don't you go back and look up Rusev, Bobby Lashley, Lana, and Hotel Room, and then come back and tell me what you don't want to do. Or you know what? Why don't you go to ChatGPT and ask it to tell you the story about Edge, Lita, and Matt Hardy, and then come back and tell us what you don't want to do, right? Like, that's, I don't know. It's tough, I think, if you're them. That's more Paul Heyman than it is Triple H. That's true. I don't know. I can't even really like decipher between that though, because it's kind of like the same schools of thought, I think. I am going for Oba. He's supposed to be the good guy. I didn't say he was a bad guy for not picking the belt. I said it made him look dumb, and it does make him look dumb. It makes him look like a character that is dumb. I'm sorry. I don't understand how it could be interpreted any other way for somebody to be like, oh, my title shot. Here's the thing. Either he's dumb or the title's not worth it. The title's not as big as Brock Lesnar. And we all know that to be true, but we don't have to make that like canon. That doesn't have to be part of the narrative, right? Like, we don't have to all admit that Brock Lesnar is a much bigger match for Oba than any of the champions, specifically Sami Zayn. Like, yes, of course that's the case. But like, why bury your own title? Oh my God, the Hell in the Cell, though. That's worth it all. I will say that. But whose idea was it for Maxine to kiss Austin Theory? Nobody did research. And if they know she's married, that's sick. Is it sick, though? Because, like, what about like actors and actresses that have to like kiss people in there? You know what I mean? Because it's like entertainment also. It's not just the physical aspect of wrestling. There's no way Brock's here. So I don't know. I definitely think they know she's married. There's no way they don't. But I also don't think that they've reached a line yet, or like they've reached anything that pushes a boundary that we're not used to from wrestling, right? Because like we have to remember, like, not everybody was together. Like, we have the Macho Man, Miss Elizabeth stories, but there are so many other wrestlers that were put into, that were matched that weren't together, ended up maybe becoming together, something like that. But did he did 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 he say King Schlong? Maybe that was just me, right, guys? Can y'all confirm he didn't say that? Because I know he didn't. Obviously, he didn't say King Schlong, but it really sounded like that to me. What did he say though? Can anybody tell me? Yeah, Buddy Murphy was getting cucked by a kid named Dominic. Oh yeah, dude. I was trying to think. I knew it just happened. I was like, man, I'm trying to think of an example. That was it. Thank you so much, Matt. That was the example, Alex, I was trying to think of. Because Buddy Murphy, I mean, yo, that Rhea Dom, that went far. When you here's the thing, I would be honestly, I'd be more comfortable with my wife kissing a dude as a wrestler. She's a wrestler than having a storyline where she has to call him Poppy. That would be my line right there. I'll be like, "Whoa, you're gonna call him what?" And he's calling you what? No, dude, what? Come on, my family knows what you do. The kids watch your show sometimes. No, Matt, don't remind me of that storyline. Yeah. Yeah, that was a big storyline, dude. Let me tell y'all, the kids loved it. I swear. I had so many little kid like nephews and nieces or like little cousins that were like really young at that age during that storyline. Yo, they loved them some mommy poppy shit. It was cringe at the highest. Just tell your wife you're getting heat. Exactly. I just don't think WWE understands that us getting a showdown between Paul Heyman and Oba is not what time it is. Like, cool, you're doing this awesome entrance, but to what end? Like, what are we promoting here? Why is USA running around like they did something good? It's 2-1, so Oba, Oba. So Oba is wearing his most casual outfit to date, and yet he looks like a monster. They made Buddy a borderline PDF with Dom's 18-year-old sister. Oh shit, I forgot about that. Oh, that was yikes, bro. Ugh, I think my brain made me forget. Thanks, Alex. I had to stick my fingers in there, babe. It's what's best for business. Oh, that's what Lana told Rusev. Oh, but all right, let's hear what Oba says. Damn it, Belgium 3-1. Whoa. Talk shit, get hit. That's what he just said. How old is Oba? Alex said Oba is 28, Matt, if I remember correctly. I'm going to die at 103, and USA will still not have 0 World Cups in 2100. Yeah, you're probably right. Wait, what? That was weird the way he cut that off. Oba's gotta beat him at this battle, this promo battle. He can't lose this promo battle. He's staying quiet though. Damn, he got the cholos. He got the cholos up for him. Them cholos are like, oh, bah, throwing up. He's got them fools in the front row throwing up the set, bro. He did, right? They were like super over, bro. Yo, that was crazy, bro. Lil Rob in the front row, just like Oba got me feeling like it's summer nights. Is Oba trying to rhyme? Throwing up the O block. Damage control? Meh. It was okay. I think Paul won that. Am I missing something, Mario? Is our country just not trying to have the best male soccer team, you think? I don't know if it's that at all. I just hold on. Let me hear the rest of Oba's and then we'll talk about that. Who wrote that? Who wrote that? Who wrote that? Seriously. You have to walk through hell to get to heaven. Who wrote that for him? That is so terrible. Honestly, I could probably within the hour come up with a dozen things that would have hit harder than that. You have to walk through hell to get to heaven. Okay, I don't think that's true, but sure. Let's go with that. Yeah, Oba literally took that L right there. Hard bar for Oba. Yeah, that's true. That was a hard bar for Oba. Uh oh. Matt. Yo, I think I got to record it too. Yo, they're chanting CM Punk like a mother effer. All right, what about this? Cody can't do it, and then CM Punk just comes in and beats him. How would that work for y'all? Yeah, they won it. Is he in the building though? Because that's the thing is, it would be a epic moment for Chicago and the fans if they just like brought him in without them like being able to like really confirm it, right? Oh my god, are they just gonna take it from him? Like anybody, like Tozawa, get out there and beat Sammy for the title right now. CM Punk is about to come out and beat out all of them. Someone named CM Punk. Yo, is it gonna be Punk, guys? I think it's gonna be Punk. Holy shit! Damn, they want him to snatch the belt right off of him. All right, guys, I'm not gonna lie. Chad Gable's whole thing here is um not the most interesting thing. It's not that it's not interesting. It's I just can't listen to the Gable part really, really close. It sounds like they're saying something else. That's all I'm gonna say about it. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I just don't. He doesn't feel like this is like an 80s character that you're trying to get over, or is it just like I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand. They could just keep him like normal, right? Holy shit, you never know when a title opportunity falls from the sky. Oh, my boy Alex, keeping up with the continuity. Good job, champ. You're right. Yo, you're right. And falling out of the sky would be something that would happen in the Windy City. Was that lame? Poor Ethan Page. Yep, planted the seeds months ago. Yeah, dude. I honestly didn't see that, but I don't know if anyone else did. Sammy, yo, there was no way they were keeping that belt on him. No way they were keeping that belt on him. How do you spell Chi Town? Nope. Mm, 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 mm. Let's see. Which is fucking stupid because then why put it on him in the first place? That's a fair question. I'm not gonna lie. Long shot, but imagine the pop if it's Kevin Owens. I have not heard Kevin Owens is able to compete. I haven't heard he's been cleared again, but I would certainly pop for that. Like, I hated that they did, but at least give him a month. This whole thing finna look even more dumb. Yeah, exactly. Like, if you were gonna do it, like, do it. You didn't have to take him all the way to SummerSlam, but damn, bro. Like, and here's the crazy part. Like, yo, you snatched them titles quick off of the Street Profits too, champ. Man, if I'm a talent not named Obafemi, Penta, or Javon Evans, I'm starting to get worried if I'm ever gonna be able to make a name for myself. So Cody can beat him. That's why. Oh, that makes sense. Nah, let him get beat so I can laugh at these marks from last night. That's so messed up, dude. Oh, shout out to Young Tigre in the building. What's going on, champ? Ethan Page needs to be on SmackDown. Shit, they need to transfer at least half the dudes to SmackDown. That shit's been so boring lately. The hell? Ethan Page just standing in the background of Rusev's fucking thing? That's weird. Damn. US is toast. Oh, yeah. Back to what Alex said. Where is it? Am I missing something more? Is our country just not? Oh, wait. He said right. The USA soccer program just needs to overhaul its system to bring NFL, NBA, Olympic level athletes. It should be this difficult to have the best male soccer team in the world. So here's the problem with that, right? It is that difficult because we're so far behind on soccer, right? Like, other countries have schools that they send their young players to, right? And they attend these like soccer universities, right? It's kind of like basketball. For a while, we got so far ahead of every other country in basketball. And then slowly over the last like couple decades, maybe the European competition has stepped up, right? And they've gotten better. And it's taken time for basketball to evolve in other countries, right? And it's the same thing with baseball, football. It's the same thing with a lot of these sports. How far are you behind? Right? It's like BJJ in America, right? There are BJJ schools everywhere. And yet there's a difference between getting your black belt in America and getting it in Brazil, for example, right? So it's not that we don't have good players. It's more that we don't have quality young players with the kind of world experience that a lot of these other guys have coming into it. That US title, even with Trick, Mello, Page, and Saints, would be fire. Yeah, dude, that would be fucking fire. That is that, and see, because the IC storyline is really good right now. It's probably been one of the most consistently good things on WWE programming. And right now, like the mid card, you have Dragon Lee, Dominic Mysterio, Ethan Page, Rusev, Chad Gable. All of these names exist as potential names that could be, a challenge to Penta. Um, I don't know if all the stories make sense the same. I don't think that's the case, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see who emerges as the number one contender from that pack next week. Simultaneously, they should be having the exact same sort of like hot competition, like neck and neck competition in SmackDown for the US title. And it feels like the US title has been this thing where it's like a gravitational like thing where you gravitate into the US title picture and then it's just you and that person, right? Like Ilya, Dragunov, Trick, Mello, I mean, even Trick too, Sami, like all these guys are just like switching places with each other, as opposed to IC title that feels very, very live. It feels very, very competitive. It feels like people actually want the IC title, which isn't always the case with the US belt. F soccer, who the F really cares? That's messed up. How about everyone in the world, Mex? I was just happy to watch Mexico lose. Other than that, who gives a shit? Training camp starts soon. Yeah, not soon enough. This is the World Cup champ. This is like the test of like international athleticism, right? This is like speaks to Alex's whole topic. We can dominate in football because we fucking invented the sport. We can dominate in baseball because we have a league that attracts literally all the best players in the world. We can dominate in NBA because again, same thing. But when it comes to soccer, it's we're behind playing catch up. But I'll tell you what, we are a lot further along than we were. Like when I was in high school, very few people gave a shit about soccer at all. Like the white kids on the baseball team were the only ones that gave a shit. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I love to play soccer. That was fun, warming up for a baseball tournament by just going and, playing a quarter of soccer was a good warm up, but I like it. I like the sport. It's fun. Especially if you got money on it, but I didn't put any money on it this time. It works better because you keep the veterans / former world champs with the IC title. Exactly. See, and that's the big problem is like the IC title is like completely had an overhaul in terms of what it represented and what it really meant. A majority of Texas 4A and under doesn't have soccer. We don't care. Wait, majority of Texas 4A and under? No, that's not true. Texas has there are plenty of 4A teams with soccer. What are you talking about? The vast majority, I guarantee you, of 4A has soccer. I'd be willing to bet that there's more than 50% of the schools that are 4A have soccer programs. Now, under 4A, yeah, okay, fine, maybe. No, I don't believe that. Especially like because when you get to like the lower A Valley schools, like some of those schools only have good soccer teams. You are part of why the USA sucks at soccer, Joseph. That mindset. Exactly. How can you not care about America showing up on the international stage? Listen, I'm not the biggest hockey fan in the world. I love watching it live. I've had glass seats, changed my life, but it's hard to see on TV. I can't really follow the puck super well, so it's a little bit different, right? But you better believe that I want to beat the Russians. Yes, I'm a man in his 30s. I was born at a time where the Miracle on Ice meant something to us Disney kids. No, I'm just kidding. Well, and eventually it did. Oh, Mario, we should do a fantasy football breakdown this year. Hell yeah, champ. I am ready for it. Nobody under class 4A has soccer. Oh, my bad. That's what you meant. And I'll bet it's less than 50%. Under 3A, you might be right. I mean, under 4A, you might be right. But I'll bet it's close to 50%. I mean, because it's like you could ask how many programs have like baseball, like football, right? Basketball. And then outside of that are like not Texas sports. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was like under 50, but I'd still say that's still a lot though. It's like if you don't have more than 50%, then you don't even have the ability to like play teams. USA could be dead last at soccer. We wouldn't care. That's not true. No, that's not true. Less than 50% of 4A has it. Under 4A, it doesn't exist. No, it does exist. That's not true. Yeah, because there was 3A soccer state championships last year. I remember that. I remember the school that a friend of mine went to that transferred to Kingsville. Yeah, there was a 3A soccer state. You know what? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was 4A. It's not. Oh, what's that school? Granger, Texas. It was 3A, but I think it is 4A now. It's because top American players tend to get signed in Euro leagues to where they can't play for the national team. Exactly. And then by the time we attract any top players in the international sector, they're already like past their prime. I mean, we got David Beckham at a time where he was basically, LeBron James today. You know what I mean? Like still really great for average soccer player, but certainly not the David Beckham that, had become an international star. Same thing with what's his name? That is a Dragon Lee setup. He said, I'd rather watch rugby. It's like heavyweight boxing for soccer. Our best guys are on the gridiron or the court like men. Funny. But that's like the same thing. It's like, so they're not men if they, but what about boxing? You know what I mean? It's more of like money and opportunity. It's like who's getting, like, it's so much easier to get like a football or baseball partial scholarship than it is to get a soccer scholarship. Yo, the Cholos are having a blast, bro. The Chicago Cholos, damn, they made Dragon Lee tap. Bro, the Cholos are super stoked for this match. Oh shit, you're pissing the Cholos off with this stuff. What the hell? No. Oh my god, he's got Rusev up. He's got Rusev. Oh damn, I would have loved to seen that. They're gonna make us wait for that move for next week. What was weird though is he was trying to do the belly to back suplex, but he had Dragon Lee in the Cobra clutch. Like, if he would have done it, wouldn't he just ripped his spine in half? And Joe Hendry's out there. Why? Wasn't he beefing with Logan Paul? Yeah, he's a part of the match next week. That doesn't rationalize why he's out there. It's like this, right? Joe Hendry is like, I'm not saying he's played, not at all. What I am saying though is like it's kind of like done. Like Danhausen worked, I think, because the character's so what's the word? Like there's so much going on with him, right? Like there's so much narrative there. I mean, the guy's a kayfabe vampire. But you got this guy, and it's like, what's his character again? Like he's just there. And it's like you're trying to capitalize on Gangnam Style like 8 years after it's over, right? This is the equivalency to the WWE doing the Macarena. All right. They're over here doing this with fucking Joe Hendry, dude. You know what I mean? They're over here doing the Soldier Boy dance in 2026 with Joe Hendry. I'm just saying. That's what they're doing. Ooh, that's another name, Mario. You think Rusev or Dragon Lee would take a pay cut to stay? Dragon Lee, yes. Rusev, no. Dragon Lee, I would say yes, only because it's like, well, then you're just going to go to like AAA for the same thing. Rusev, because I think he's got that same Aleister Black heat in AEW. That's a very good point. Good save by Paige. Yeah. Man, the Money in the Bank, New Orleans. I really hope by the time we get there, they establish new parameters for the Money in the Bank. Like when do they have to uh like cash in by. I've always wanted them to do away with the cash in limit or deadline, and then have a situation where like somebody gets kayfabe injured for a while, and then we forget about him, and then they have another Money in the Bank, and then that guy cashes in his Money in the Bank, and then we get the return on the same night, and he cashes in his Money in the Bank. That would be, I think, cool. The hell, they're just showing the Jimmy shit from last week, even though they already faced off. Whatever. And Jacob Fatu with the save, I guess. And then this doesn't make any sense either. Like, did you wait? You attacked LA Knight, or you were saving Jimmy Uso? Because if you were attacking LA Knight, why didn't you do that a long time ago when he went out to go confront Seth Rollins? That was one hit. I'm sorry. This is not great. Somebody did not produce today's segments very well. Dawkins loses with a low blow. LA Knight gets taken out with a single elbow. So he's calling someone on the phone. It's Zelafot too. The Money in the Bank matches should just go back to being Mania matches. Yeah, that would probably be best, but if they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it. Martino was a Vlaca slut. Jesus Christ, Alex. Good Lord. All right. I'm gonna. That was. I'll show it. Just might not read it. If it's not Punk, we riot. Yep. The game is almost over. So this doesn't make any sense either, by the way, because it's like Bailey, you were like kind of schizo on Lyra for a while. Remember when you were like super bipolar and like everything she did either made you super happy or super pissed off? So it's like to pull this like I don't want to say like victim card, that's not what she's doing, but to be like, I don't understand where all of this animosity is coming from. I mean, we were best friends. It's like, no, that's not really the story. I don't think you're remember that. He's not wrong though. Marciano was a song about cheating. That is true. Replacing Money in the Bank with Bad Blood or Armageddon. Ooh, that would be dope. Sign me up. Bad Blood was cool when they did it, but it's like they don't have anything else other than that. Hey, Maxine. Hey, that's funny. That was a good one. If Mona bombs, does The Rock come back? Uh, I think he comes back no matter what. But if Moana bombs, I would have to say he comes back sooner than he probably would have. That's what the song meant, right, Mario? Fact check that guy. Yeah, no. Y'all are right, I think. Google it, kids. This is called gaslight. Hilarious. Oh, Lesnar is going to be in Dallas next week. Damn, I wish we got that number one contenders gauntlet match tonight. And 4-1. All right. Let's go ahead and call it a game, everyone. All right. So I don't get it. I'm seeing Moana this weekend. Nice, Alex. Tell us how it is. I still haven't seen Disclosure, dude. Although I did watch that Sleeping Dog documentary with Jeremy Corbell. Man, that guy's starting to get to me a little bit. I feel like, first of all, it was like an hour and 45 documentary that could have easily been 30 minutes, right? Like the whole time he's like, I have this evidence of aliens and it's undeniable, but I don't know. Do I show it or don't I? And it's like, maybe you should have figured that out before you started hitting record on the camera, bud, you know? Um, but yeah, I mean, like it was all right, whatever. The one that's really good is the S4 one with Bob Lazar. So the whole thing is AI. Yeah, that one's pretty good. What can I say except you're welcome, man? I think you're gonna be right about this one. interesting that Aldis found the replacement. Yeah, I was gonna say that too. That makes me think it's not CM Punk. Although maybe make the argument that Punk's moving to SmackDown. I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one. Although it does make sense since it's the title for the show. Yeah. Also, yeah, that does make sense. You're right. But here's what doesn't make sense. Why is Nick Aldis there? Isn't he suspended? Shouldn't he? Isn't Adam Pearce supposed to be taking over for the duties while he's suspended? So he's still making like decisions in the back and like responsible for things because doesn't seem like he's getting replaced. Yo, by the way, if you could hit the sub or the follow, that would be great to do right about now. Remember, we cover boxing, MMA, and wrestling all right here on Infighting FX. Also, we go live on Twitch, and we'll be live this weekend for the Conor McGregor fight. What else is this weekend? Something else is this weekend. What am I missing this weekend? Something else. Is there a boxing fight that I'm missing? AJ, right? No. When does AJ fight? Let me see. Oh, shit. No, AJ's not till the 25th. Jesus. Man, there isn't shit going on in July for boxing. Jesus. Crazy that Joe Joyce has a fight off TV. Diego Pacheco's next weekend against Aleem. Andy Cruz is on that card too. Wait. Do you see I'm going to grind on you? Is that what JD just said to Danhausen? I'm going to grind on you? Okay, this makes zero sense. Dominic Mysterio is trying to win the IC title back. Yeah, no, there's a reason. Yo, shout out to Ohio Runs Boxing. Shout out to Anthony Casa. Shout out to Anthony. What's going on, champ? Been a while. Ohio Runs Boxing, champ. You know, you are fam over here on these parts. Shout out to everybody in Ohio that's been killing it. By the way, shout out to Mason, champ. He looked great. Hey, I don't know if Ohio's still there or not, but champ, it was um it was telling that how good boxing is in Ohio because Mason looked so good, but then he came out with two mascots for two teams that were shit. No, I'm just kidding, champ. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna go there with it. No, he looked good though. He really did. All right, here we go. We're about to find out who is Sami Zayn's opponent. Few Sami sucks chants in there just to get things started. USA crash out of the World Cup after 4-1 defeat to Belgium. Thanks, Guardian. All right, guys. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Is it going to be CMP? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? I think it's CMP. Yo, that Kenshiro Israel Gonzalez fight is going to be really good, though. That's on the 20th. No, the Fury fight's the day before the AJ fight. I know that. But I forgot what day the AJ fight was. Like everybody else did. The Earl Spence fight's good. I mean, it's a good fight. The card's okay enough. Jamal Charlo coming back. I mean, interesting enough, right? I'm not like holding my breath that we're gonna like learn something, or you know what I mean. He's gonna have to beat somebody better than Miziorder or Mizioder, whatever the fuck. I don't even know how to say his name. All right, let's see who's it gonna be, ladies and gentlemen. The anticipation is killing. Oh shit! It is CM motherfucking Punk. He got some long ass hair and he got some Mussolini songs. I don't know what I said there. I'm just excited to see CM Punk looking like he hasn't slept since he learned that he was wrestling. Oh my gosh. This is crazy work. Holy crap. Shout out to me on X for stealing Machine Gun Matt's prediction and pretending it was my own. I'm a genius for that. Personality, yeah, come on, fucking cult of personality. Bow, 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 bow. Yo, and this is awesome because in like normal circumstances, a late replacement sucks, right? MMA, boxing, even wrestling, card subject to change is something we've all gotten comfortable with at this point. If you've been watching combat sports long enough, and you know that when somebody is taken out last minute, it is usually somebody far worse that replaces them and the match suffers. For example, this past weekend, we got the opposite. BEL, who I'll remind people I used to be a publicist for, stepped in and looked great. And he provided us with incredible action and gave Mason a very competitive fight. Those are rare moments. And that's a testament to BEL and fighters like him who've stepped up like that. These are not typical replacement matches. Let's say that. You don't end up with Floyd Mayweather fighting fucking Connor Ben, and then Connor Ben steps out and you fucking get, Terrence Crawford. That doesn't happen, right? Like Conor McGregor isn't gonna fall out this weekend. They're gonna replace him with GSP. That's not gonna happen, right? This is why you gotta love wrestling. This is why you gotta love fucking wrestling. Like Mussolini. Biggest match in AEW history is going to happen at SummerSlam. Yo, to be fair, Matt's been, predicting that for a while, but whatever. Literally nobody appears shocked as Cole. Yo, I know, right? Oh, God, he's such a suck-ass commentator and a mark-ass commentator as well. So why is Sami pretending like he's big mad? Yo, shout out to everybody on X. and TikTok. Wow, that was a massive. Yo, y'all found out. Y'all found out Punk was coming on. Y'all just jumped on. That's all right. We rocking out together. Damn, that crowd is whacked. All right, guys, let's see what he does here. Let's see what happens. CM Punk live and ready to thrive. That was weird. I shouldn't have said that. I knew I shouldn't have said that like as it was coming out of my mouth. So sorry about that. I like the start, right? Let's get some catches, can of whoop ass. That would be good. Shout out to Young Tigre back in the building. What's going on, champ? Shout out to Ohio Runs Boxing. Shout out to Anthony, champ. Yo, Punk looks jacked too, bro. He's lean as hell. Yo, somebody sold him a whole gang of peptides. Oh shit, that was a suicide dive. Yo, look at him, bro. Look at his lats, dog. Holy shit. Oh yeah, he's on that. He's on that good stuff, bro. Hell yeah. He's on that good gear right there. Yep, Punk looks in good shape. Fuck yeah, dude, he did. I saw them lats just popping out, bro. I think he could probably fly out of the ring if he wanted. You just start going like a dragon and shit, just taking off. Mm. You know what? I'm gonna give y'all the best tip I ever got. Whoa, pause. I'm gonna give y'all the best piece of workout advice. What? That was my last one. Damn. I'm gonna give y'all the best piece of workout advice I ever got. All right. If you want a wider back, all you got to do is literally one thing or like one workout, and you just go from lat pull downs, and then you just keep moving your hands outside. Do a set, do a set. You should be like two fingers on the end of the bar, like this wide, literally doing this. Yo, you'll get some massive ass fucking lats. I'm telling y'all right now. top quality peptides. Hell yeah. You put them top quality peptides in your ass and you do them lat pull downs. I mean, honestly, the best things are pull ups, but it's like pull ups are great. They're just not like there's other ways to have your lats defined. And a lot of people can't even physically do a bunch of pull ups. So it's like, what's better to be able to physically manage like a dozen to 20 pull ups in a workout and then you're cooked, or being able to push yourself, you know, that to me would be, I mean, don't get me wrong. Again, I'm not unadvocating for pull ups. I'm just saying that, if you can't do a pull up, that doesn't mean you can't get wide ass lats. What the fuck? Yeah, it's gonna have to be like a match where Punk just basically gets like beat down the whole time. No, I do. I didn't want to eat them all on air. Yeah, it's gonna have to be like a slow match. I mean, it's only 9:20. Like, I know we don't go 3 hours anymore, but yo, them cholos have not sat down for the entire show. They are the real ones of the night for sure. Oof. That connected. Cholos love them two things that are completely unexplainable. The Smiths and CM Punk. I saw the play a mile away. First, Sami wins in Saudi to appease the Sheiks. 2, CM Punk beats Sami. 3, Punk versus Cody at SummerSlam. As for Sami, I guess figure that out as we go along. Yeah, I mean, it seems like that's exactly what's happening here. Although, how do you get Cody in the title picture? Like, do you got to have Gunther versus Cody for the number one contender now? Or does Cody just have his number one contender spot still? Like, oh, he's calling for the GTS. And the Cholos are on their patas. Oh, they got themselves. Oh, they got one of them little diabetos over there with them sitting down over there. Kick out from Sami Zayn. Damn, that was a big suplex, bro. Even the crowd was like, that was kind of a lot. Oh, yo, there's the if y'all are watching the Netflix, they got the commercial for the Unhinged. I thought it was a movie, like a show, like one of those like Black Mirror, like you could play along, but I think it's just a game. But it's like the actors, they're real actors that are playing like the people, and so like I think that they're like trying to kill you or something. I don't know, but basically it's like a scare, like one of those game, like pop out games. You know what I mean? Or pop up games, whatever they're called. Down Vato loves the tortas. Ese, yeah. Mm, some of them in that row seem to also like tamales and quesadillas and a lot of beans. It looks like they eat a lot of beans over there. But dude, I still have not played UFC 6. I mean, I played it for like 10 minutes, but I still haven't even gotten to really play it. Every time we've gone to my parents' house, I've wanted to play it because my brother said something to me that made me not want to buy it yet. Um, but I'm definitely gonna try it. I have my free pass that I can have for 2 days, so I was thinking about streaming it either tonight or tomorrow night on Twitch, but we'll see. Oh, Sammy with the bomb. Two. Punk kicks out. That hasn't been a bad match at all. That's the thing is like for all the Sammy hate, y'all cannot tell me that this guy doesn't elevate. The bloodline wasn't even close to as good as it was until he got there. He was the hero of the WrestleMania where he won the tag titles with Kevin Owens. And man, let's be honest, he made a match in Cody and Gunther actually mean something that it didn't. Yo, I don't there that podium should just be like in the corner. That's crazy that they have it right there. I don't think you're gonna beat him with the Bulldog champ. All right, Punk up on the top of the turnbuckle. He's going for the elbow drop. Oh, and he hit Sami with it. He's got to get the cover. There's the one. There's the two. Oh, that was the slowest 3 count. Wow. Way to go, ref. You piece of crap. Uh-oh. He's got the Anaconda lock. Punk has the Anaconda lock on Sami. Sami's reaching, but he is not even inching close. Oh, he was faking the tap. He's taking the tap. Is he going to tap? And now he's got the wrist across the face. Now he's got the leg across Punk's face. Oh, and Punk breaks out. Oh, I thought he was tapping right there. Holy shit. He's got the foot over him. It's almost broken. Sami has escaped. He's broken out. Now Punk going for the sharpshooter. Oh, and now Sami kicks him in the face twice, 3 times, 4 times to get out of the sharpshooter attempt. And the Cholos aren't sitting down for no one. And now Sami, same move. He beat Cody with 2. Oh my God. That was like a 5 count. Oh my God. Sami should have won, right? That was a 5 count. I'm not even saying I was going for him. I'm just saying that was a super long count. Dude, that count was longer than Sami's beard is right now. Wow. He escaped the GTS, rolled him up, and that was the same move he used on Cody. Cody went for the crossroads and he rolled him up off of it. Very, very Bret Hart-esque move. Grave needs to be the lead commentator. He's needed to be the lead commentator. Cole needs to get out. You figured with all that money, Punk would get his teeth white. No, you know what? That makes him more real to me. Uh-oh, Sami hit it. 2. Oh my God, another near fall. Oh, and a big shot on Punk. Now Sami is starting to gear up, guys. Sami is starting to gear up. This is massive right now that we are seeing. Uh-oh. Punk hits him with it. Punk crawling up the turnbuckle, trying. Oh, and Sami hits him with a GTS. They're calling it a 2 count. He hit him with the Blue Thunder Bomb after the GTS, but could only get a count of 2. In fact, that was the quickest count out that we'd seen up until this point. The crowd is on their feet. At least the Cholos are. Yo, nobody's going to tell them Cholos to sit down, bro. I would have told him to sit down. I would have said, hey, tell you and your diabetos over there to get his ass down. Damn, what a combo near fall. Hell yeah, dude. I honestly was like, holy shit, is this the end? Uh-oh, and now Sami sitting face to face with Punk, delivering headbutts, delivering slaps to the face. Oh, and now he's delivering shot after shot. Oh my God. He's got him up for the GTS. He hit him with a haluva kick. He nailed him. Oh, he didn't get all of it though. 1, 2, 3. That's it. CM Punk is your new world champion. He has done it. He has defeated Sami Zayn. And at the end of the day, all you can say is it was a valiant effort from one Samuel Zayn. I mean, talk about the cooked books, guys. Let's be honest about this for a second, right? If the defending Super Bowl champs, let's say it's the Kansas City Chiefs, right? They come out and they say, hey, you know what? We're going to come and we're going to play the Super Bowl and we're going to beat the Dallas Cowboys, who have earned their shot to be playing us for the Super Bowl. And then the day before the game, or the day of the game, the day of the Super Bowl, they're like, hey, Cowboys got hurt. We're going to bring in the Seahawks for you to play. You weren't able to do video. You weren't able to come up with a game plan. You strategized for a completely different wrestler. And at the end of the day, not only did they bring you in somebody who was a veteran, but somebody you didn't even realize was even on, like, available right now, right? A complete out of the blue pick. So all I can say is, Sami, that was a bit unfair. I congratulations to CM Punk for sure. I'm not saying anything, taking anything away. Very hard to get off the couch and then come and win a title. All I am saying though is that, man, Sami Zayn was definitely not long for the title. Thank you, Jesus, is what Mech says. That's a little harsh. 9 days, you fucking marks. Was it worth it? Wow. Now he's mad at me and us. What a waste of fucking time. Listen, I am not going to say anything like to defend Sami's reign. All I am going to say is that this feels like the right move. I would not have mind Sami going to SummerSlam with the title. I would have been, because look, the Oba match is like a main event in and of itself, right? So then you got whatever Roman and Seth, night 2. Like, what do you need? You need a badass world title match to what? Be the non-main event? Like, I don't know. All I'm saying is that you kind of righted the ship here. I'm not going to defend Sami's title run. I am going to say that we got that moment for whatever it was worth. And now we have this one. And so it's like, we got both. I'm not going to compare it to the Darby Allin thing because it's not the same at all, really. I mean, there's some loose similarities, but I am going to say that I don't think we can know what this did for Sami yet. You're going to argue that 9 days doesn't do anything for anyone, and I would probably agree with that. But ultimately, I don't think we can say for sure what is going to come from this. I would say that it could be interesting to see like a Cody Sami like blood feud, right? He cost Cody the match at SummerSlam against Punk. I really want to see that Cody Sami match. I do. I don't know if I want to see it for the world title, but I think it's been cooking long enough, and it's certainly interesting. It's exactly the same. It's not, though, because at least Darby Allin got matches. At least he got like a short run of like something. At the end of the day, Sami Zayn got nothing, literally nothing. He won the title. They came out and they were like, this is who you're losing it to. Because let's be honest, if Punk didn't come back tonight, it was probably going to be Cody. And now we know, by the way, we can put all this Punk was mad at WWE business to the side, right? Because ultimately what happened is that they wanted to keep it a surprise. Somebody probably accidentally put it out as marketing, or they were like, oh, we're just going to do it marketing. And then Punk's like, wait, you're going to have me win the title. Or maybe they were like, oh, we're going to have you win the title. It's like, okay, well then let's make it a surprise then. Like, you know what I mean? They knew they weren't going to do the Cody thing. Here's the other problem though. You knew you weren't going to do the Cody thing. Why did it have to be Jey Uso? Why did that have to be Jey Uso again? Can somebody explain that to me? Because I don't know. I literally don't know. I have zero rationale for that. So I don't know. Cole seriously said CM Punk debuted 30 years ago in WWE. What does that mean? Did he? No, he didn't, right? There's no way. I would have been like 8 or 7 when he debuted then. That's not the case. It's a pointless title reign. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm not going to make a debate against it because I don't think it's one that I can win. However, I don't think any of us can say that definitively until some time has passed and we see what happens, right? Like, I don't know. Who's a good example? I don't know. Can't think of one yet. I mean, it's like you could argue that WWE shit the bed with Bray Wyatt, right? But then he came back as the Fiend. I'm not saying Sami Zayn is going to lose this match and come back as, a character that completely revolutionizes the sport. I am going to say, though, you have to watch the aftermath, right? Because the story's not over. It's not a participation trophy. Sure. I don't think it was a participation trophy at any point. I think a lot of other people said that, but I don't think that was the case. So it's like to say, oh, they gave it to him because he's been there a long time and has earned it. That's not, there's a lot of people you could say that and they never got the title. Why is it Sami? Again, because I think Sami lined up with Saudi and, it worked for however long it was going to work. At the end of the day, both Sami and Darby did zero for the ecosystem of the business as champions. Sure. I will agree with that 100%, or maybe not 100%, but I will agree with that. I don't know that this current ecosystem is going to be the same sort of ecosystem that Sami and or Darby function in a year from now. So like a year from now when the very foundation of both rosters and storylines have shifted, what does Sami Zayn feel like when he comes back, having won the title, having had a short reign, like this chip on his shoulder? All I'm saying is I think they could bring him back and make it better than Damian Priest. Damian Priest did more for the WWE as world champion. Absolutely, but he held it for longer, though. And he also had a build to it. Sami didn't really have a build. People on this platform are going to complain about this Raw, but I was sports entertained tonight. Oh, I loved it. I loved Punk coming out and winning. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I love Sami winning the title for 9 days, but I absolutely thought this was a great ending and also a great show. I mean, the Paul Heyman stuff was good. Very sports entertained. Yeah. Did Dirt Sheets in the mud again? CM Punk looked happy to be back in WWE. Yeah. That's what I was saying earlier too. It seems like that whole storyline was based on the fact that they probably wanted to keep it hidden because they knew they were going to do this. And then once they realized, oh, should we put it out? We have to like backtrack a little bit to give some mystery, right? Priest looked the part. True. Sami never once has. I don't know if that means though, what that means though. Because it's like there are a lot of guys that didn't look like champions and they became. Shawn Michaels didn't look like a champion. He was coming out with heart glasses and fucking hairy ass chest with like BDSM vests. Like he had this weirdo music. Like who thought that looked like a world champ? How wrong were we? Yep, Alex don't like there is a Punk problem to me. Alex don't look. Oh, I'm sorry, Alex. It doesn't look like there's a Punk problem to me. Yeah, me neither. He was body slammed by Wee Man. Best of luck in your future endeavors, you fucking lame. I don't. Y'all will never give him the credit he deserves for that Mania with them with the Jackass crew. He deserves so much more credit for that. Um, uh, Shawn Michaels was a body slam by Mini Me. Funny. Yeah, but he was ground and pounded by Vince's mini me. But that's according to Brett. I didn't say that. That's not me or infighting saying any of those things. Later, guys. Mac is back Saturday. Hell yeah, champ. See you tomorrow, Alex. We'll be talking about that. Sami becoming the world champ would have had more impact had he beat Roman in Montreal. I agree on that. I honestly, they should have did it like 2 years ago, whenever it was like that big old hype. But what are you going to do? Listen, guys, I am going to finish my recap. I have about 5, maybe 10 minutes left at the most. And then we are coming back on YouTube and Twitch only. We'll be doing some fun stuff. So if you haven't done so, please hit the like, please hit the sub, please hit the follow, please hit the share. Infight and FX, we are here Monday through Thursday, and as well as the weekends for all the big pay-per-views and PLEs in combat sports, boxing, MMA, wrestling. We are here. So yeah, please hit the sub, please turn on your notifications. We'll be back tomorrow for those that can't join us tonight, but for the rest of you, we will see you in about 30 minutes. Until then, peace.